Bienvenidos and welcome a Cositas Mommy Never Told Me, a podcast that dives deep into the Latin cultural norms that have long haunted the feminine genre. Móntate and buckle up porque it's going to be a roller coaster ride. ¡Nos fuimos! Oh shit! Not the house music.
I know. I gave you like, you know, because this hype button is kind of like what we do. But like if I go, okay. The people don't know. So me and Diana were talking offline. Exactly. And she said, I'm feeling silly today. And I was like, I'm silly, Diana. So we're going to see. We're going to see what silly Diana
Just
is
how
serving.
silly. Vamos a ver entonces para usted. I'm a little delirious.
Is that what it is? Silly. You know why she's probably exhausted? Because I realized yesterday, even though I've always known this, but I realized yesterday that Diana's love language is hosting and cooking, and like her expression of love is in food and in servicing. So your love language, it's funny because we'll probably get into it today, is not that that's how you receive love. So for clarity, the way you show love, the way you show love is acts of service, 100%. And that's how she is as a friend. Diana's one of those friends that you could call her and she'd drop whatever and figure out how to get there. I'm so thankful for that. But yesterday, I went to her house. It was her son's birthday. And I was like, oh, this is Diana's love language. She literally was in the kitchen for the 3.5 hours that I was there because she wanted to have her empanadillas fresh for everybody. And I realized, I was like, I guess I'm not going to have a conversation with her at all while I'm here. So
I'm sorry.
I'm just going to sit here and eat empanadillas and her food. And I asked if I could help several times. And it's like, no. I can't even put the fucking fork in the empanadilla for her. I was like, okay, let me just sit here and play my role and not interrupt her love language.
That's crazy. Because, I mean, if I would have had time, I was going to make the empanadillas the day before, but I just found out on Friday that we were going to do this. And as you know, Thursday was Thanksgiving. And I hosted Thanksgiving at my house.
It just further confirms that your love language. Because another bitch would have been like, no.
Well, we all went out for my son's birthday on Friday night. So it was Carlos and I, my sister and her husband, chaperoning.
Who are so cute, by the way. They are,
oh my God,
so cute.
In love.
They are so cute.
I love them. I love Steve. I love my sister. I love them together.
But by the way,
that's my brother-in-law.
You know what's funny? That another great example of second chapters.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my gosh. Like Vanessa and Carlos. Yesterday I spent time with Sonia and I don't know if I've ever really like had lots of conversation with her, but yesterday we were talking and then, so rewind. We were at Diana's and Diana asked her sister if she was going to eat. And her sister's like, no, I'm going to wait for Steve. Steve, her husband.
Steve, but my mother calls him Steve.
Steve. Pero hello, claro, el nombre de él no es Steve, es Steve.
Ella le cambia el nombre a todo el mundo.
There's a very, if you notice, there's a very little enunciation in there that's muy importante. Él se llama Steve. Como Phil's name is Phil, and people call him Phil. Okay? And he's like, I don't want to be felt on, but if that's what we're doing, I'll be Phil.
Well, my mother, just a sidebar real quick, I have a friend, his name is Wendell. W-E-N-D-E-L-L.
Oh, shit.
She calls him Window.
Gwendo. Oh, window. Like, I'm looking out the window. Ventana, window. Got it. Well, you know what she's saying in her head? He lucky I call him at all. She's saying
you
in
know
her
what she
head.
said? She don't even say it in her head. She don't even say it in her head. She said, I am from Puerto Rico, and this is my second language, and people should be, honored that I am calling their name. I'll be like, Lord Jesus.
Basically. And I'm not in disagreement. I'm not in disagreement. But it was so cute because Sonia was like, oh no, I'm gonna wait for Steve to get here. And Steve gets there and he says hello, and Diana's like, I'm so honored you don't go out on Sundays, blah, blah. I guess it's an inside joke. Anyway, so he comes in and straight starts making his plate. And then Sonia gets up and she's kind of like, hold up, like, I've been here waiting to eat with you. And he was like, oh, babe, but when I call you was munching. She was like, I was snacking on an empanadilla. So then it was just so cute how they were like, well, make your plate, like, blah, blah. They sat next to each other, which is so funny because that's what I do when I'm in a relationship. I'm a huge, like, I don't like sitting across from whoever I'm with. I like sitting next to them. I feel like it's so much more intimate. And even if you're not in a good space in your relationship, the fact that you're sitting next to each other, it like forces you to kind of like, all right, unless we're breaking up, like we're gonna figure this out. But they were just so stinking cute. So then when they sat down to eat, I said, you know what? Diana was like, look at y'all so cute eating together. I was like, I love love. And then I said, I think you guys should have exchanged memos and gotten on the same page before Steve got here. But look, you ending on the same page, eating together.
Right.
They were just.
And I always tell them, you're so romantic. You guys are always so romantic. They make time for each other as far as dating. They still go on dates. And so yesterday when I said, you guys are so romantic, my sister always thinks that I'm always like, that I'm shooting shots. I am not shooting shots.
And I said the same thing.
Right.
No,
I'm telling you for real.
I'm here for this energy.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
That, like, leg on top of the leg. Like, that's my goal in 20 years to still be like on a sofa watching TV where you can't even like, I can't even be 2 feet away without you being like, baby, come here. Like, just be touching me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So Sonia, when you listen to this podcast,
Sonia,
I am not shooting shots. I am really happy that you guys are so romantic. Even 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, whatever. I love it.
They were so cute.
So yeah.
Yes. So
thank you for saying that about my love language.
Their love language is time together. And Diana's is definitely fucking feeding you and making you nice and full.
Making sure you're good and all that, but that is not mine. I want gifts.
Isn't that interesting? She doesn't.
And it's not even big. I don't even like big gifts. Yeah, no, my love language is like, it's not even like gifts. It's just thoughtfulness. Like, I love to go on walks. Let's go for a walk. I love to be at the beach. Let's go to the beach. Even if it's the winter, I love to do, just things like that. And then like little gifts. And I don't mean gifts like extravagant, like, cause that's not right. So I'm talking about like a card or some flowers or my favorite fruit or my favorite perfume, stuff like that. Don't feed me because I ain't trying to gain no fucking weight. So, and motherfuckers don't know how to cook, most of them. So listen, my husband, I love him to death, but his thing is breakfast. So, and I know he listens, so don't come home with an attitude when I'm fucking talking about, because it's the truth. Ain't nobody lying. So what I'm saying is his thing is breakfast, because when the kids was coming up, they'd be like, macaroni and cheese again, when I would say that he was cooking. Macaroni and cheese again.
Oh, right. He's like,
and he'd be like, well, y'all want me to order pizza?
Like, right. And he's also like, y'all not going to go hungry, but I didn't say I was going to diversify the options.
Y'all going to have something to eat.
Exactly. Y'all could be getting some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Act up.
Right. And now they're older, so they can feed it, they can feed themselves. But back in the day, it was hilarious because they would be like, man, you going out? Then they go in the kitchen and look because they ain't smell nothing. Daddy cooking. Oh man, macaroni and cheese and chicken again.
Oh my God. You know what's funny? That's when I'm a total latchkey kid, and my sister, shout out to Jessica, she used to stay with me a lot. It was just me and her. My mom worked late, and that was the go-to. Mac and cheese, baby. Mac and cheese with some grilled chicken.
I don't mind mac and cheese.
Me either. You know what's funny?
Mac and cheese.
That I think I don't want it now because I have Sophie, and it's like her go-to. So
yeah. So you're like, yeah.
God. But I used to, like, if I was in a rut, even as an adult, I just cook me up a mac and cheese with a little hot dog. Boom. That was like my go-to 10-minute and be good, like genuinely satisfied. But
yeah,
we've confirmed Diana's love language. That's actually one of the questions in our juice jar.
So now you know mine. It's feeding people, making sure they're good, and I like for people to have hot empanadillas. I like people to have cold and smooth pina coladas.
Did Brad Bunny? Was he the one who had been asking for them?
For them? No. It was Jerry. So Jerry ended up coming. Yeah. So Jerry is my son Jalen's friend, and they have been friends since the second grade. And they graduated high school playing football and all that stuff. So when they were juniors in high school, I brought some empanadillas for the team. He was absent. People were like, "Oh my God, the best empanadilla, blah, blah, blah." And he was like, "How come you didn't bring me empanadillas?" So I've been promising empanadillas. Even when he was in college, I was like, "I'll go to one of your football games and I'll bring you empanadillas." Never made it to a football game. He would come home and be like, "Where are these empanadillas?" So he was supposed to come here for my husband's birthday. He didn't come. So I saw him Friday at Jaden's birthday. I said, "I'm doing them on Sunday. If you're not there, I am no longer responsible for the empanadillas."
You're like, it's over. It's a wrap.
Yeah, so he had them, and I gave him some to take home and told him how to cook them when he got home. I showed him how to do them and everything.
You gave him fresh ones, like ones that he could just fry.
So I gave him some that he could just fry. Yeah. I'm jealous. And everybody was like,
"I need some."
Other kids were like, "Can I get some to go home?" I was like, "No, I owe him these."
And can't you? I just realized you could probably put those in the air fryer.
Yeah, well, if you're gonna put them in the air fryer, you need the bake oven pastry, because the ones that I use are for frying.
Oh, got it.
So you need the ones that to bake, so you can fry them in the air fryer, because then they come out weird, like doughy.
Got it. Got it. So yeah. So anyway, quickly, we are going to navigate this podcast a little different because we're not sure when it's going to air, but we're super excited about what we've done this season so far. We've had some really great episodes. Dr. Noel Cassiano's episode was so well received. Amazing.
Oh my God. Yes. A lot of people love that. Yes.
So I mean, in a really fucked up way, it's like, damn, we need therapy. Like, all of us are like, we need help.
Oh, we get him some clients. I really want to thank him for coming on and being so transparent. And
I'm probably going to be his first client.
About him. I've learned so much about him just in the DMs and people just sharing that they're going to contact him, and they, the way that he felt so calmly. And so I was like, well, what you want?
Yes.
You want a therapist that turns?
Right.
You need a therapist that's chill. You don't want a therapist that's like.
It depends because I think I told you that I had a therapist, and I think, she served her purpose for the time that I needed her for that season. But I started to feel like it was becoming real girl talky, and it wasn't like, it's funny because when we were talking to Noelle, the one thing I do notice and I gravitate to, of course, therapists are humans. Like they're like pastors. Pastors are humans. We have this perception of these people that they should be like not human. Like just because you're a therapist is like you don't have problems in your life. That's usually not how it works. But he has and like Rebecca as well. Rebecca Betancourt that was on. When I connected with her after our live, I was like, Becky, I didn't even know that you were a therapist, but knowing her from our youth, she's always been very much like the peacemaker. She's always been someone who is like very just a natural calming energy. Like I feel like if anyone was to describe me, it would never be like, oh my God, when Rocio walks into the room I get this natural calming. No, that's probably
that's not like that's not me either.
Exactly. Like I'm
coming in there hot like
exactly
everybody
it's like, well, if you were to meet Rocio, like it's not like, oh, I would want her to be my therapist. I more would want her to be like my party planner maybe, or like my MC,
my hype man if I was a rapper.
Exactly. It's like boom, back 5, 6, 7, 8 type backup dancer. But Noelle and Becky both have this, like, they just have this energy that you feel like you can trust them. You feel like you can say anything. You feel like you're not being judged. And I for me, it's so important in a therapist to get that energy, because I'm so high energy that I felt like the therapist I did have, it just became more girl chatty, and I was having my own revelations. Like, I was having my own aha moments. I don't feel like
she wasn't like guiding you. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like she wasn't pulling them out of me.
She didn't pull them out.
Well, I'm saying
that's what
we don't like that. We don't like that.
We don't like pull out game.
That part. So yeah, I was talking to myself, and I was like, I think I'm gonna reach out to Noelle, because I'm in transition of trying to find someone new. But that episode was so well received. What other episodes did we do this season? Let me look them up. We have one that we can't really talk about.
Gosh. Boundaries was well received as well.
Boundaries. Wait a minute. I think Boundaries was the highest viewed.
You think so?
I'm about to tell you. I'm about to tell you right now.
Yo, I want to say, like, I ran into a couple people, and they said Boundaries to me.
What I wish I knew. 163 views. Well, this is on YouTube.
What about the man? About the man?
What I wish I knew.
Oh, what I wish I knew. Yeah. That one was good.
What I wish I knew. Good.
But I think what I wish I knew has been up longer too. So Boundaries was just a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
The man episode. I don't think our honestly, I'm proud of our listeners. Our women are
they're like, fuck what they want to. We don't give a fuck what they think.
Our listeners are like, ¿qué carajo me importa lo que piensa ese pendejo?
I know, but it was enlightening, a lot of the things that he said. And even after his transparency about having a roster of women, women still DMing us, asking us how they could be a part of the roster. Like, what's really going on here now? You want to be a part of a roster? Create your own fucking roster. What the hell? Why do you want to be a part of a roster where the motherfucker he said that he used condoms, but
lies and fairy tales.
I'm sorry, my friend, but after you've been on a roster for a certain amount of months, motherfuckers just gonna be like, dale,
lies and fairy tales. For me, love. I love our male guest.
Oh, we love him. We love him.
Love. But when he answered that question, honestly, I said, forget it. I'm done. I'm through.
And there was a pause. He's gonna fucking call us. And there was a fucking pause. And we're like,
I said, moving on.
Trying to be un papi chulo and shit.
Exactly. But Juice Jar was well received. Boundaries. You know what? I think I mentioned this on another podcast, but Diana was like, because she's like, what is it? I don't even know.
What am I?
What does empath mean?
An asshole? Oh,
no, bitch. I'm the asshole. Remember, you literally crowned me the asshole.
We both are. No, we can both be assholes.
Two assholes.
I'm good with it. People be like, you an asshole. I'll be like, I been know that. Give me something I don't know.
Give me some.
I love when she said that. Give me some. I feel like that when she's doing that alter ego, she should stay there.
Yes.
She should stay there. Yes. That other one is media pendeja.
Yes.
So she should stay there.
Yes.
Without saying her name, because we don't need nobody coming for us. Jesus.
Exactly.
You don't need nobody coming for us. So empath. Let me get the definition.
So Diana has this thing where she can feel energies. Like I feel a lot of people's energies, but more like I could just walk into a room and be like, I definitely don't want to get to know this person or that person, or like I keep conversations short, whatever. But Diana can feel inner energies. So I say that to say when we recorded Boundaries, we both ended the recording and we were both like, yo, that felt so good. And then the next day she was like, I feel like you may have been awakened or something. You were like, I feel like Boundaries may have done something to you. And I said, 100%. I think listening to myself speak, I was like, holy shit. And I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud of myself because I've literally
I'm proud of you too, girl.
enacted so many boundaries in various areas of my life. And it's almost like, damn, it was almost like perfect timing because so many things happened, you know, since then that I had to be like,
But a lot of the show too just gave a perspective to people that they didn't think that they needed boundaries in. Yo. You know what I'm saying? Like a couple people were like, yo, I didn't even think that I could put a boundary there. Or yo, you were right about this boundary. And oh, yo. And I'm just like, this is your life. You have to be able to tailor it, whatever it is, boundaries or whatever, love, whatever it is. You have to be able to tailor it for you. You can't always be living for other people. It's okay if you volunteer. It's okay if, you know, and every once in a while you do live for somebody else, right? Where you fall so deeply in love and you see the red flags and you ignore them shits.
No, you don't see. No. Hold on.
No, you see them. You see them.
You don't see the red flags. The red flags
see them.
Fully.
But I'd be like,
No, you don't see them. They fully engulf you. They are like covering your face.
They're
literally, you know, like in the cartoon, in a cartoon where the gun and the thing pops out. They're like coming out of every part of your body. And you know what you're doing? You're like, oh, you can go back.
Ignore them. No, está bien. It's okay.
That little flag right there because that one. Just hold this one right here because
and it's now because red flags become fucking a red fucking sea, a fucking.
And we're not talking about our period.
Waves of fucking. No, but I'm just saying it becomes just engulfed. You become engulfed where everything is red. What the fuck? You start letting little red, like Noel was saying, how you start packing. That was the best analogy that he said for me. That gave me like a
he said packing, so much stuff.
Packing. Oh my god! I was just like,
and then what? How you supposed to close? How you supposed to close that suitcase, bitch? How you supposed to go anywhere when your shit don't close?
Your shit gonna be over capacity.
Then you get to the gate, and guess what? You overweight, and guess what? You gotta pay for the overweight shit and the baggage you decided to carry. Why? Hell no. He said that, and then when he said, and I swear to you, I will never forget this. When he said depression, when he just emphasized the importance of being present and how thinking about the past is depression and thinking about the future is anxiety, I was like, holy shit. I mean, for me, someone who takes pride in being kind of like, I feel like I'm a very thoughtful person. Like I feel like I'm very empathetic to what people are going through, to what I'm going through. I try to, I constantly give myself peace. I constantly, even when I'm fucking hard on myself, when he said that, was like, it was almost like everything was explained to me. So now when I find myself in thought, I'm like, bitch, reel it in. That's tomorrow. That's anxiety. You're creating these anxieties. And then when I find myself about something that's already happened, it's like, fuck that depression. Oh, hell to the no. We rebuke that. It's done. It's in the past. You can work on today. People are going to do what they want to do when they want to do it. You cannot control. The only thing you can control is yourself and how you feel and how you allow someone to behave and make you feel. But when I was like,
I hate when people give power to what other people do, right? The best thing I think that someone told me, and I want to say, this was just a conversation and we was high as fuck. Oh my God.
Ooh.
I remember being in my 20s and we was high. Like we were so high. It was two people. We had rolled 2 blunts and we were passing them to each other. That's how high we were. Okay. It was 2 blunts with only 2 people. And we were passing them to each other for like 5 minutes. And we looked at each other like, we high as fuck. We don't need to pass these to each other. We could just smoke a personal. But anyways.
Oh shit.
We was high as hell. But anyways.
I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think of that part.
You somewhere else. Like, that's why.
No. But I didn't even think of that part. Like, why are we passing blunts if there's 2?
Right, there's 2 blunts and 2 people. That's what I'm saying. We kept going like this, passing like she grabbed mine, I grabbed her. She grabbed mine, I grabbed her. Germs. But I mean, we exchange germs all the time. But
no, exactly.
No, but back then, I mean, when you smoke the blunt, especially like back then when I was in my 20s, I smoke. And when I used to smoke and it was a new person in the rotation. Oh yeah. Well, there was a new person in the rotation that used to tongue kiss the blunt. I was like, you can't smoke with me no more. It's okay if we smoking and we about to pass it from lip to lip, but now you tongue kissing the blunt. I'm good. Like, I'm never smoking with you again, and I'm done smoking for right now. Roll another one. But anyways, one of the things that my girlfriend told me back in the day, she told me, girl, the shit that happens in the past stays behind me. I can't be looking back at that shit because there's so many struggles that are going to come in front of me. I can't continue to look back and add those on top of the ones that I haven't gone through. I was like, oh, shit.
Yo.
You like, know when you high,
fucking
just be extra. I went as far as telling her, girl, you should write a book. This is amazing shit you saying. But then she started talking about some other shit, and I was like, okay. But no, that shit, I was just like, oh my God. So that's why now, like when I talk to my kids, even one of the kids yesterday that was here that was having a hard time because they had lost the championship game. I was like, well, when did that happen? He was like, it happened like 2 hours ago. And I was like, but when did it happen now? He was like, no, like 2 hours ago. And I was like, okay, so when was that? He was like, is it the present? He was like, no, it's in the past. And I was like, so why don't you leave it there? Boom. And he was like,
he came to get food. Right. He came to get fed in the stomach and fed in the head. Knowledge.
In the brain. And I told them, now you can't carry this. So now, right, you're going to carry all this frustration and shit. You're going to go home and maybe you're going to go see your girlfriend. You're going to be frustrated with her because you lost the championship game. She ain't going to know what the fuck happened because she's not going to think or be like, okay, yeah, oh my God, he lost the football game. She's going to be like, what the fuck wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? So when you carrying that shit there, then you're going to carry that shit to work. Then you're going to carry and then you're going to think everybody else got a problem because you are having the problem. You got to let that shit go. And then just let it go. And he was just looking at me like, oh my God, Miss Diane, you're right.
No, Miss Diane. I love that.
Now you're Miss Diane, which I love.
I know.
I love Miss Diane. I can't wait to see her next week. But yeah. Yeah.
Yo, that's so ironic because today I was working out early this morning and I listened to a message and it was about letting it go. The blessing in letting it go. It's like, you know how when people are like, you know, my children are a gift from God. I surrender them to the Lord as long as they become doctors, are good this, are good that. It's like, it's really surrendering and letting it go. It's the art of knowing how to let it go is something that is difficult. That art of letting go
it's
for
hard.
real, like letting go, and then whenever it comes to the mind, being like, like,
especially if you're passionate about it, or if it's something that you love, or someone that you love that's hurt you. That's the hardest right there. When you love somebody, you've gone all in for them. You've like done everything, like, oh my goodness, and then they betray you or they do some crazy shit, and you're like so hurt. That shit is hard to let go. But think about the love and the heartbreak and all that shit, right? You've gone through it. You were able to let it go. Now that you've gone through it, think about the things that helped you let it go and put those in action. That's it. Because a lot more times now, just being old, I'd be like, man, fuck that. Girl, I'm tired. I can't. I don't got time for that.
100%. Nope. 100%. But letting go brings us into episode, which is
yeah.
Juice Jar, which we had some topics that we had before, and we added some topics. Juice Jar was so well received that we're going to do this often because
we're gonna do it. We're gonna keep doing it. We should do some on Friday at the lunch. At the lunch thing. We should. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna be on a tropical island somewhere, but we're gonna do it.
She's gonna be on a tropical island.
Oh shit!
Oh god! We starting hot, huh? We starting hot.
In typical Cositas fashion.
We starting hot. Where we at with it?
Does size matter?
Oh my god!
I swear, I'm not making this up.
I'm gonna let you answer that shit first.
120,000%. Yes.
My husband be listening to this shit intricately.
Diana's not allowed to say dick. Exactly. She's not allowed to say dick. No, I
can say dick.
And she's not allowed to talk about size. But in my head, if she's like, yeah, size matters, and she's been with him, she been with him 20 years, then it's a confirmation. But
you're fucking out of control. I plead the fifth. But I will say that
that's my opinion.
I have a lot of friends. And when the topic comes up, it 100% matters. It 100% matters.
Dude. So then let's spiral into this. Size matters. Size matters. For me,
it matters in everything.
I had a conversation with my sister this weekend, and I said something, and she's in a different space in her life, and I just feel like I take pride in being able to meet people. Where you going with this? No, like I take pride in meeting people where they are, and I said to her that for me, where I am, having left a very long-term relationship, I'm just in a space where I want to be loved on physically, mentally, emotionally,
and beat up,
and I want to have sex. Like I want to have amazing sex. Okay, I look forward to having amazing sex. That's where I am right now, and I can't tell you that I'm going to be leaving this season anytime soon. I can't. It could last 20 years.
I'm trying to suppress silly Diana. Should I let her out?
No, don't suppress her. Bring her out.
Let her out. So you want that pussy beat?
Yeah. Yes, 100%. Like softly, shortly, aggressively, gently, beat her. Yes.
Choke me. Oh, sorry.
Yes. What is it? Media vida, media fisia. Exactly. Just slightly. I'm just giving it 150,000. But so then, if size matters. Okay, so I'm gonna funk it, remix it. If size matters, we know that not all the men out here are well endowed. So then if size matters so much, why do we not only put up with, but stay with remedial sizes?
I wouldn't call them remedial. I would call them average.
No, bitch. There's plenty of women out here.
There's some remedials?
Staying with tiny penises. I'm just picking your brain. Like, what is it about a man?
I don't know about that. So.
Oh, wow. So wait, are you the person who's like, once the encounter happens, if it's not meeting the standard, I'm out?
I've never had an encounter like that.
Oh, wow. Really?
No,
you are lucky.
You said tiny.
I mean, okay, so then
I've always had a questionnaire. I've always had questions. Okay,
so then what is considered acceptable?
Oh God,
you're
putting me in some crazy ass fucking waters right now.
Are we saying the size of a phone? Are we saying 6 inches? Are we saying 6
would you like the size of a phone?
Are we saying
would you like the size of a phone?
7 inches?
Let's see. what Google thinks it's average size.
Well, the average size, I read an article, the average penis size, I think in the United States is 6 inches. I'm almost positive.
Okay.
I think it's the average size.
So that's average.
Right?
So you mean something smaller than average? Yeah, I know. Well, this is so. When I was younger, as I told you, I used to think like a man. So, my questions used to ask. I used to ask.
Diana said. So no. Next question.
You're honest.
Next question.
So you've had smaller than 6 inches?
Oh my God.
Okay, so let us pray.
I don't know. I don't know.
I honestly think that
I have had it. You know what's crazy? I have had astronomically gargantuan, and then I have had in a past relationship that I stayed in for a few years. Very unimpressive. But I'm almost like, I'm asking you the question because I'm like, what does this say about me? But I also feel like I said to my sister that I was in a place where I didn't have sex as one of my top 3 non-negotiables in my relationship. You know, like for me at the time, it was communication, partnership, acts of service. Like I'm very into being someone who makes me laugh. Like I love to have fun and laugh, and like I like to be intimate in other ways, or that's what I thought in the past. Like I like to hug and cuddle and blah blah blah. And if it doesn't lead to, or if it does lead to sex, it's like, okay, then the sex for me was more about the intimacy and not like the pleasure, because I've always been one for years actually to incorporate sex toys into my relationship anyway. So it wasn't like, you know, I was depending on the size of a penis to finish myself off, if you get like TMI. So I guess at the time I was like, oh, I didn't really think about it. And then I had nothing to really compare it to. But, you know, in a new season, I'm very much like, no.
I need to know. You gotta ask the questions.
I need to know.
And you're not asking, what size are you? You're asking, would you consider yourself to be average size? And then they go and say, well, what's average size? And you can say, well, average size according to Google.
But you know what? Men know. Men know when they are, because men also know when other men are very well endowed.
Yes.
Like I have male friends who are like, they talk about their friends like, yo, that ninja over there, he packing heat. Like I thought I was good.
I mean, men say that. Men, is good. I have been in club settings, okay, where I've either overheard or it has happened to me, and I'm talking about in the past, way in the past, my husband. It has happened to me where that's their line. I am A1. And I'm just like, really? This works for you? And it works. It works for them. It works for them.
Okay.
I am A1.
Selector. What does A1 mean?
A1, like top tier. Big, So just recently, actually.
Okay. So then.
Hold on, but let me finish. Just recently, we were at a bar, and I was standing next to my girlfriend, and this guy comes up to her and says, "So are you ready for some thickness?" And she was like, thickness? And he was like, you want some thickness? Like that. And he was like, he was a tall, slender. He was a tall, slender man.
You when these things happen.
He was a tall, slender man. He wasn't ugly, but he wasn't like fine. He was very cocky.
Clearly.
He was very cocky. So then I was like, so she was just like, oh shit. She was taken aback. And I was like, does that shit work for you? And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, does that work for you? Has that worked for you? And he said, it works all the time. Because you know what? everybody want a big dick. I was like, oh, okay. And I walked
Oh,
away. And then I looked at my girlfriend and she was like, I'm coming. I was like, come on, let's go. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean,
yo.
he says it works all the time for him.
Okay, so then let's get deeper. No pun intended.
God.
So does a large penis mean good sex?
Not necessarily. I know one of my girlfriends, she had to leave the guy because he had to take a muscle relaxer in order for her to be able to have sex with him. He was like,
so
too
there
big.
is such thing as too big.
Yeah. So there's, yeah. I mean, just like there's, we've had this conversation before where there's people with small vaginas, there's people with, so there's somebody for everybody, right? So, I don't think that, I gotta tread lightly here.
Because to me, right,
I want to stay married.
I understand. So I'll say this, that before I got married,
because I love my husband very much.
I had an experience with a very
So don't give me no shit about this podcast is what I'm saying. No, son. Okay. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Before I got married, I had an experience with a very, very well-endowed man. He was also extremely good looking, built, trainer, blah, blah, blah. I mean, he was a himbo. We couldn't even have a conversation, but we both kind of knew, we both knew what this was, But for me, it was my first experience with someone not only very well endowed, but who was so sexually competent that it was like the combination of the two is what changed my perception on sex. Yep. Not necessarily intimacy, but sex. So
yeah, he was a good fuck. Yes. He was a good fuck.
Oh my God. I mean, oh my God. Okay, so
but that's funny how you say, because then that means you can't talk to him. He's like, what do you mean?
A himbo. Which to me, what happened was, after I stopped messing with him, it was kind of like, because I wasn't that experienced, I worked so much, blah blah blah. I was like, well, I guess you either find this or that,
or that,
not that awful or whatever, but you find intellect and conversation and partnership and intimacy. Versus someone who about to blow your back out, throw you against the wall, have sex with you in the bathroom in the gym. Yes, it happens. Right after a workout session, because that's how grimy he is. But that was so like in the moment. It felt so good in the moment. But then after, you're like I don't think we ever even went to
what now?
Dinner. Like I never even wanted to sit across from him at a table. Mind you, sit next to him at a table and like have a wing. But it served its purpose at the time. And it was good. And then I do feel like, I think size is important, but I think it's so much more. Like, for instance, that guy who went up to your friend, he could have had the biggest, most perfect, beautiful penis ever. But the fact that he said that, I'm fucking turned off. I'm dry as hell. I'm chafy. I have no interest in fucking that.
But, but it works for him. There's people that's falling for that because
it works for him, but it works with a very certain woman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's crazy.
It certainly does. It certainly does. I know. I was just like, oh, okay, and I walked away.
What's in the marbles?
No, but I think you answered it right. There's probably a lot of people that don't know. You know what I'm saying? And they're that was probably their first sexual experience, and that's where they've been. And they married them out of high school, and that's what they've been with. I've had friends that married or have had long relationships after high school. They weren't married; they just lived with each other, had children, and all this stuff. And then in their 30s, late 30s, early 40s, they break up, and then they start discovering that they have had a small penis their whole life. Like, what the fuck? But they didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't. And to me, in my head, I'm like, okay, well, when you're having conversations, maybe she didn't have conversations with her friends about stuff like that, right? where some of our friends, we have a lot of the same friends, and when we're talking, people, they tend to go there and they talk about these things. So women in all walks of life, and it doesn't matter the amount of money you make, the race that you are, how old you are. I found myself speaking to women in their 60s and 70s, and they're not as sassy as we are, but they do say things to me that lead me to believe, and they do the sexual play, like the Three's Company, the innuendos, right? So because we have a lot of women who are older that listen to our podcast, and they say, "Oh my God, I love when you said this when I was coming up," so it's almost like our podcast is a way for them to like go back, and I love having these conversations when they're done, when they're just like, "Well, I would have did it this way, or I would have said this," and then like, "Yo, you were playing in these streets when you was younger, huh?" So they have those conversations too, because they have them with me. And I've had conversations with people that are my friends, and I'm like, "Yo, I wish you would know how your mom speaks. I wish your mom had these conversations with you, because they're so great, but she thinks maybe that you can't have them with her. So maybe you should approach your mom and be like, 'Mom, what did you tell Diana?' Because I think that you would appreciate that in your mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me to have these conversations with 60, like even my best friend's mom, Natalie's mom, Monica Bestby, she rest in peace, one of the best women. Oh my God. Even her and her eloquentness and the way she spoke and everything. Like, she used to talk about men being suitors. Like, instead of people, they were suitors. "Oh, that was my suitor." And I was going through her album. I was like, "Damn, this dude's fine as hell." She was like, "Girl, I had a lot of suitors." Okay. And I'm just like, so even in those conversations, women still had conversations about sex. They still have conversations. So it doesn't
100%.
matter. It doesn't matter. It all roads lead to sex, dick, all that. And since we're women that like penis, then therefore, that's where it all leads. If you're in a group of lesbians, which I have been in many groups of lesbians, I used to play basketball back in the day, all roads lead to vaginas. Same goes for men that are gay. All these. So even when I'm with my gay friends, we're talking about
Yeah.
So, and it's not even like dick all the time. It's not that. It's just that they'll say a story. "Oh, I was with this man, whatever," and then be like, "Oh shit, whatever." So it's not like we're comparing sizes, or we're not being nasty. It's just that it just comes up and we talk about it, because that's just life, and that's how life is made. At the end of the day.
I think humans, I think we don't talk about it enough, which is sad, that humans are made to be intimate. Like, humans, like, people are always like, "Oh, I want to live off the grid," or, "Oh, I could be on my own," or, that's bullshit. Yeah, I think there's seasons where you should be able to be alone and be on your own. But it's like, I was listening to a podcast this morning, and she was like, "Nah, I'm definitely," and I've heard this from three different very powerful women in the last 2 months, and they're like, "Nah, I'm definitely a relationship girl. Like, I've always been in a relationship. I'm that person who needs to have someone." And it's always frowned upon to be someone who needs to have someone. But really, we are made, like Adam and Eve, you're made to be in partnership with another human, and with that comes intimacy, and with that comes sex. And our bodies are built to be touched, to be loved, and to be pleasured. And it's like, people don't want to talk about it because it's like taboo, especially in the Latino culture, which is nuts to me. But here at Cositas,
and there's a lot of people that
we enjoy being touched and pleasured.
Oh shit! And there's a lot of people that want multiple relationships, and that's I've spoken to men, and our man boy that came on the thing. I call him man boy because I think whatever, but our man that came on the show, they like to have multiple people because some people are sex addicts. Some people like this to have multiple places where they can go, multiple. So I just think if you like that, you need to communicate that, though.
100%.
Because there's women as well that want to have multiple men. They like to juggle multiple men, because like I love that we use sex positive, because when a man has 2, 3, 4 different women, there's high five and like, "Oh yeah, right." But then when a woman decides to have the same past, she a hoe. It's like, nah, she's sex positive too. She want to be able to, sow her oats and do whatever the hell she want to do, and let her do it. Shit, who the fuck cares? Her pussy. So I think that more and more you're seeing where people are, and I saw one actually when I was in hair school where there was this woman, there was two women sharing a man, and they were talking about everybody living together so they could split bills and all that stuff. And I was just like, I was shocked, because I was back then I was 19, and I'm just like, really? But in the back of my mind, I'm like, y'all splitting bills. It's three of y'all. All three of y'all got.
You're like, well, that kind of like sounds like it makes sense. But for me, those what are they called? Polyamorous relationships. I feel like I'm just not that emotionally mature.
Right. Well, it doesn't even have to be that. You just don't want that.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm being respectful and saying kudos to you. I think it requires to people who are. It's funny because in a sense you're like, wow, she's so secure, but for me, it's almost like, is that how insecure you are that you have to open yourself up to be with someone who you're not enough for? So that's my mindset, but they can see it as like, we're so mature that I get what I want out of this situation. And it's almost like, I just feel like in the most private moments, you have to be miserable to feel like someone that you're intimate with needs to be intimate with someone else. It's yes, it's like we've talked about it before. It's like these celebrity wives who are married to athletes or whatever. It's like, yeah, they get the bags, they get the clout, they get whatever. But in their most private moments, a lot of them are fucking miserable because at the end of the day, you just want someone who will love you and you love them. And that's it. Like, you give the man children, you give the man loyalty, you give the man everything you are. And I'm just using this as an example, and it's still not enough. So it's like, is okay. You can see it like, how secure. Wow. You're so secure that you open yourself to this, or like, damn, how insecure and sad is it that you're like, I'm not enough, but fuck it, I get everything out. It's almost like I get all this other stuff out of it, but yeah, but like you said, I just don't want that shit. Nah, dude. If you need anything more than me, this is not the situation for you.
Listen, I'll stay by myself. For real. I'm with my husband and I love him and everything, and I feel like nothing's gonna happen, but I will stay by myself straight up. Like, I don't even got the energy.
Other girlfriend just said that recently too.
I don't have the energy, the brain capacity. I don't want to meet nobody. I don't do none of that shit. I'm just I'm chilling. Moving
on. Because we could talk about dick for 24 hours straight.
Oh, wow.
Oh, shit. This is a good one. It's not about dick.
No.
But it is about a man. So, baller or good guy?
That's easy for me. Good guy. I've never dated a baller.
So what's the definition of a baller in this case? Are we saying someone who has money?
A baller for me was always a drug dealer, right? I never met anybody that was a baller that had legal money. Coming up, a baller was always a person that sold drugs. And I myself did not want to date people that were nickel and dimers. And then I didn't want to date anybody that had a lot of money either. I mean, I was friends and had situationships and friends with benefit type situations with people that were, that's all that was around me, so, but as far as like doing that life and doing time with them and all that shit, nah. So I just never realistically approached the situation in that manner, because that's to me, it's temporary money. I mean, kudos to the people that have lasted 40 years or whatever doing it, and they're in their 50s now, and I'm like, shit, you still don't have nothing to fucking show for all this hard work. But at the end of the day, I just didn't want to be in a relationship with somebody where I had to be always like, is he coming home? You're gonna be on the block, you're gonna get you're going to jail, you're gonna get shot, you're gonna get stabbed. That just, it's so. Never met no lawyers when I was coming up. Never met any doctors or any person that was a baller that had money like that. That was legal money. So, yeah. Or I just ended up with somebody that didn't have any money, so there was a broke guy. There was a lot of those in the hood. A whole bunch of broke motherfuckers. But
oh shit. Okay, next jar. Next jar.
No, you gotta answer. You gotta answer. Boy, answer that shit.
I'm
Because you've been around ballers, motherfucker.
No, okay. Maybe the question shouldn't be baller or good guy. The question should be bad boy or good guy. That's what the question should be. Bad boy or good guy. Yeah.
Probably
see,
bad boy.
That's a different perspective. You get what I'm saying?
See?
Because I've been
bad boy, that challenge.
I was blessed to be married to a baller who was a good guy. Get what I'm saying? So I got but I got to see, I traveled, I explored, I'm super blessed materialistically, you know what I'm saying? But I also, in that experience, was exposed to a lot of assholeisms of like, you know, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. But we all know he bought Vanessa that ring when he got caught cheating. It's like, you know, like, I am in a season of like, is good person, but there is something about bad boy energy that is ingrained in me since fucking youth. That is like
it's ingrained in all of us. Just talk about
why?
Girl.
But
when I was younger, I fucking sitting there beeping a motherfucker a million times so he could call me back, and he ain't call me back. But then the next day, be up and they and shit. The fuck? I'm glad I learned that shit early though, cause fuck that.
Me too.
They call it ghosting now. It's called ghosting.
No, I don't. I thank God I never really dealt with that. I guess I was always the main motherfuckers.
No, it wasn't that I wasn't the main man. I was the main. Nah, he was just fucking not answering my beeper. The fuck?
Basically,
answer my beeper, motherfucker.
Beeper.
Okay. Message sender. I had a good beeper though. Message sender. Bad boy or good girl, good guy.
Bad boy or good guy.
Good guys with cornballs.
See, but here's my thing: is it that good guys are always seen as cornballs?
Most of them were that I fucking met.
But how about if they were? Fuck. How about if they had a huge penis and were excellent in the bedroom?
I don't know.
It never even got there.
If you're a cornball, we didn't even get the bed. If you're a cornball, we never even got the bed. What? No, there was one time I was feeling this dude. I was feeling this dude, and you know, we about to hang out. Some shit popped off. You. My cousins were in a club.
I hate you.
The shit's popped. Why? I'm telling you the truth. Some shit popped off, and my cousins were in a club. We was about to, because we had only seen each other a couple times out. And we were talking to each other on the phone, you know, for a couple weeks. And he was real busy because he had a really good job actually. So this was my first time where I was like, oh shit, somebody with a good job. He got a condo, he got a nice car, you know.
Oh shit.
And he was cool. Like for the most part, he was cool. Like I was getting to know him and giving him a chance, right? Because I've always dated, you know, bad guys, I guess. Not bad guys, but bad boys. And we was at a club. And something popped off, but my cousins were in the club. So my best friend used to always tell me, why do you always run toward the fight instead of running away from the fight? And I'm like, well, if I got family or loved ones in the club, I'm going to go see who's fighting. Because if I got to get in, if I got to grab something, if I got to do something, I got to be able to assist in the situation, right? Which is bullshit. Because right now I think about it, you know how much shit I could have avoided running into some shit. But
when you just out loud, I'm like, what the fuck kind of brainwashery is that?
No, it wasn't brainwashing. It was just growing up in the hood. You just gotta fucking make sure everybody good.
You wasn't part of the problem.
Listen. Jesus. If I could grab a bottle to make the situation easier for my friends and my cousins, what? Oh my God. Or if I need to grab somebody to go out the back door so I don't get arrested, whatever the fuck it is, you know. So I was going toward the fight and he grabbed my hand. He was like, what are you doing? I said, I gotta go see if my cousins are okay. He was like, no, the police is coming in here. You're going to get arrested. And I was like, okay, I got to go see if my cousins are good. Are you coming with me to fight? Are you coming with me to fight? Was the question. He was like, no. And I was like, okay, lose my number. You good.
Wow.
I came back out. I came back out with my cousins. I was telling my cousins on the way out, right? The dude's outside. And he was like, you okay? And my cousins got in his face. She good, motherfucker. She good.
Let me ask
and
you,
I was like,
is that your mindset still now as an adult?
No. That's not my mindset. Like 36, 37, that should stop. No, I want to say probably like 34, 35. That should stop. In my 20s, I was running toward the fight. Like, my cousins are here. Something's going on. Or whenever there were sirens in the fucking North End, we would follow the cops to make sure it wasn't my cousins or friends that we knew, you know. Crazy. But, you know, back in the day, like, you just got to make sure that they're not getting beat up by the cops if they were getting hemmed up. Because that was a regular thing. You go downstairs, you get hemmed up. Yeah. It was a regular thing. It was such a regular thing. I would go across the street to go get a gallon of milk to see my friends hemmed up on a fucking wall. And you're just walking by like, what up, y'all? You still going to go get your gallon of milk, come back. And then they're just saying they're like, yeah, they just came through. They doing a sweep. That shit regular. That shit, that's it's not good, but it was a regular occurrence. But yes, yeah.
So
I got there.
Okay. Okay, next let's do two more.
Oh my god.
Ready?
2 more.
Would you do would you do a long distance relationship?
No.
Okay.
You?
No.
Have you ever? I never have.
I mean, it depends what long distance is. I guess have I ever? My boyfriend lived in Massachusetts when I lived in Connecticut. He was at school, but that's not, I mean, I guess it's kind of long distance when we were younger. I think as an adult, absolutely not. I wouldn't do it. Yeah.
I think that I'm married, and if my husband had to get a job, or if I got a job somewhere in New York or something and we had to be apart for 3 or 4 days or whatever, yeah, absolutely I would do it. That's my husband. But nah, other than that.
But I think long distance is more like long periods of time
across the country apart. Type shit. Yeah, like months,
different time zones.
Like I'll be there for Christmas. I'll be there for it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I did it a little bit when I moved back home from London. When I moved back home from London, I think I talked about the candy cane. I had a friend, and
I don't know why you don't call them.
I know. And he was in London and I was in New York. And what'd you bring?
My straw.
Something fell?
Oh. Yeah, my whole shit. Go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry. No. So he was in London. I was okay. I was in New York, and we talked. We actually tried, and this is before serious technology. And I was flying out to London probably like every 2 months. And then I went to Cyprus and we went to other places together. And I think we were trying to make it work now that I think about it, but it slowly like fizzled away. It's really hard. I think
that's long distance though.
Yeah. And even though older with the financial means, I still wouldn't do it. Like I know I was pursued for a little bit long distance, and it was sweet, but would you
go to London and be like, what's good? When you lick the candy cane?
No.
It's Christmas.
I mean, besides the fact that he's married now with 4 kids.
Oh, but my bad.
No.
Silly Diana came out again. Stop.
No. Stop. No. So
she's not that silly. She's actually nasty. She's nasty, Diana.
Hey, she's not silly. She's like the 85-year-old lady. Like, come here, let me tap your ass.
I can't wait. I cannot wait,
I
married
know
or
you won't.
not, husband. I'm telling you right now, when I'm 80 years old, I'm gonna be the nasty old lady. I mean, hey, little boy, come over here. Let me see that butt. Is it as firm as it looks?
Oh
Oh, I
my
can't wait.
God. Okay. Oh, this is a good one.
Oh shit.
What's your best quality?
My best quality, I think, is my sense of humor.
She not, you not funny
I,
at all,
I,
bitch. I'm so confused.
I think I have the ability to, even in sad situations, like I want to say, especially in sad, like when people pass away or when people have been heartbroken or anything like that, and I know the person well enough where I can be like, a little bit funny or whatever, where not to get them out the mood, but just to lighten the mood. So yeah, I think that's my best quality, I think. What's your best quality?
That's hard. I don't know. I think my best quality is I'm a pretty great friend. Like I'm a pretty I take pride in my friendships and I take pride in keeping friendships no matter where I've lived. I just feel like adult friendships take a lot of work because real life happens. People move, work, family. People have so many responsibilities. But like me and Shirley have been best friends since college, and I talk to her every day. She lives in Atlanta. She hasn't lived here for 20 plus years. You and I lived in LA. And then I also think that my quality with that comes with learning to kind of just meet people where they are and not take things personal when friendships kind of fizzle or become what they are, or people grow into people who are I have some friends who get so enthralled in either their marriages or parenting that they don't know how to be good friends. You know what I'm saying? And to me,
but then
it's a little sad.
expect, like, I have friends that don't pour into me, right? And it's okay. Like you said, we meet them where they are, but then expect the world from you. And then are disappointed when you tell them about themselves. Cause I'm going to be like, listen, bruh. So it's like, don't be surprised.
So for me, I know I don't even go through the telling of I
some people need to hear that shit.
It's true, 100%. But for me, unfortunately, the way I foresee telling is it's going to end our relation. It's going to end our friendship. Even if I don't deliver it in a fucked up way, I think it's the beginning of the end. So I'd rather kind of just decide if I love this person enough to continue a friendship, whatever that looks like, and kind of meet them where they are. And I said this kind of last week. I'm not going to change who I am to teach you a lesson. I'm not going to be a shitty friend, or it just takes up too much energy in my life to change who I am, to try to show you or have to prove a point. You get what I'm saying?
I'm not talking to you when I see you.
Yes. Or if I've told you that I moved and I feel lonely or whatever, it's and then I reach out to you and then it's we never hang out. It's okay, so then cool. I know that I can't count on this person and I just have to kind of re-navigate other spaces. But it's I'm also not going to be bitch, you take 3 days to text me back and I just moved here and it's for what? Nah.
No, but I wouldn't do it that way. I'm just saying, if somebody reaches out and says, let's say if I reach out to somebody to say whatever, happy birthday, how are you, how's life, whatever. I don't hear from them, fine. But then the next time I hear from them, they need something from me. I've said to people, no, that's not popping off, because you know what? You only call me when you need something. So I'm just gonna let you know that no, I can't do this time or any other time. So
this time or any other time. So, but basically,
or any other
it's
time.
almost like, so then it's almost like the beginning of the end of a friendship or a relationship,
We
unless
could
the
be
person
cordial. We could be
is so
cordial and say
exactly.
hi.
But cordial
And
is
that's
no
all.
longer like a friendship. You get what I'm saying? So it's
No.
almost like the beginning of the end, unless the person is
I mean,
so
sometimes it's been
emotionally
the end.
mature that they can handle it. That they're like, you know what, D, you're right.
Nah.
I'm gonna do better, or whatever. But it's very rare that someone is so emotionally
Very
mature
rare.
that they're like, that they can like see and acknowledge, oh, you know what, you're right. I may have been a shitty friend, or it's also
No,
hard for
most
people to
times they're
have
so
conversation.
self-involved that they're not even seeing what's going on around them. You know what I'm saying? So, and they're so used to everybody in their circle catering to them that they don't see it. So when someone says something like that, they're like, "Oh shit!" They're caught off guard, and then it's almost like, well, they didn't need me because they're not saying anything to say, like you said, that they're not saying, "Oh yeah, you're right. I'm so sorry." They're not saying anything. So it's just like, well, shit, fuck it. I'm good with it, motherfucker. Doses. Like,
Yeah.
So not a loss.
Yeah.
Any more juice jar?
You want to do
Any
one
more
more?
juice
Let's
jar?
do one more. I have time for one
Sure.
more. Unless it's a really
Hola,
fucking
what time is it? You have a meeting, right?
Yeah, I have a call, but I pushed it to 10 minutes.
Oh, damn it. I keep dropping this shit. Oh, this time it broke. Oh, well. Say, oh, yo. Look at my dog. My dog is like, damn, bitch. You keep making all this damn noise. I'm sorry, babies.
Okay,
I'm
ready?
sorry, my love. We go for a walk, okay? We go for a walk.
Oh, this is cute. This can be short and sweet.
Okay.
Your idea of a perfect date.
My idea of a perfect date would be getting some amazing seafood somewhere by the shore, and it doesn't matter what shore. It could be here in Connecticut, it could be in Miami, it could be in Puerto Rico. Just getting some amazing seafood, great conversation, and then beach. That
I want to go on a date with
that's
you.
nice.
Let's go on a date. That sounds nice. Amazing.
That's nice. I actually did that with my girlfriend Melanie, and we went to the outlets, and then after she wanted to go shopping, so we went to the outlets. After the outlets, I was like, "There's this place I heard about on TikTok. This restaurant. It was right on the water. We had something, and then after that, we was hanging out. So I was just like, this was cool. So that would be something I would like. Anything involving a beach for me, girl.
I love it.
I love the beach.
I love it.
Yeah. So what about you?
A great date for me is I love going hiking. Like I love going on a hike, grabbing like an early morning hike, grabbing breakfast, sitting and conversation having. It doesn't have to be like deep conversation, but like laughing on the hike and like talking on the hike and almost like not planning the future, but like thinking about the future, because I feel like beaches for me too, but outdoors really inspire me to like get motivated to build and create and like build legacy. And the challenge of a real hike, I love it. And then you can like have sex in the bushes.
Oh,
I've actually done that before. But, like mid-hike, you have sex.
Not bush sex.
Or like
it's
in the
getting
car
kind of bushy.
before you hike or after the hike or whatever.
I'm telling you, like, when I'm in the forest, it's always like, is there a bear on the corner? Like, is there a fucking mountain lion that's about to attack my neck? Yeah. I'm always like
so
on heightened alert.
And like,
so do you carry bear mace?
No.
But you should carry some, especially if you're hiking in Connecticut.
I am.
Let me tell
even when we hiked in the sequoias, we actually maybe Heidi
Where's the
had some.
sequoias
I'm
for
not
people
sure.
like me that don't know
In
where the fuck that is?
California.
There you
It's
go.
like the
Thank you.
sequoia with the huge trees. We hiked. We did like a 4 or 5 hour hike,
See,
and that was
that type
beautiful.
of shit, huge trees. It just reminds me of like serial killers that are burying like women in the forest.
I guess, but
See, there's different mindsets. You love it.
it is.
Me,
It
I
is.
can't.
I
Like,
love
it's
it.
never been. Clay Hill, we used to go to Camp Coyote, and I loved it for that. For that. Girl, I got
Camp
my mic
Coyote
set on high.
Camp Coyote brought so many memories.
Oh my god, I had my first crush there.
Me too.
My first kiss wasn't there, but my first crush was there. And yeah, that was my introduction to the forest and the woods and all that stuff.
Not
And
the
I liked it because
forest.
it was contained.
What?
The only forest in the woods I like is the ones in fairy tales. Like, you know, Snow White and all them
Then
bitches be
I
at.
get it.
But other than that, me going to, like, when people go camping, I don't know.
See, but that's the thing.
I will go visit
I'm
a
not
campsite.
into that. I'm not into that. Like for me,
Oh,
camping
okay.
is like
Okay.
camping in an Airstream or camping in a trailer. Like I have zero interest in camping
Not
in a
even
tent.
that. Not even
But
that. I don't even want to do it.
you should try it though, because there's TV, there's bathroom, there's kitchen, and it's like who you're with. It's like,
I mean, well, with my cousins, I had an amazing time. That's why we visit during the day and then we go stay at a hotel.
right. You're like, I'm out.
Deuces.
I'm out. But you know what? Now that we're talking about date, to me, my love language is time, quality time. Like I can go to dinner, I could go to a movie, I could go axe throwing, which I actually want to try. And to me,
so much fun.
is like, I've never done it, and it's like, to me,
you haven't done axe throwing?
No,
they don't got that shit in California.
I don't know, but I saw it here in Connecticut. I drove by it, and I was like, I want to go do that.
It's fun, to me, and it's fun to see the people you bring and the aggression, girl.
So it's like it's the thought of just spending time versus like, you know, someone, you know, like you're dating or whatever, they come over, you start watching a movie, they fall asleep. Like to me, we haven't spent time. That's not a date. That's just like something you do in a relationship. But like, you can even spend time at home if we're like cooking together or we're doing something together. It just requires like spending time, which you mentioned about Sonia and Steve, that they make time for each other, is different from being in each other's presence, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense.
Anyway, that was Juice Jar. I love actually. Here's the jar. It's real. We're not just bringing up subjects out of nowhere.
There's some juice. There's some shit in there. I was like, I hope we don't get that. But then that fucking size shit came out real early. God dang.
The first one. Does size matter?
The first one.
Okay.
So,
welcome to Juice Jar.
This is me. That's it.
All right, guys. We love y'all. I
don't even know why I said that.
I don't know, me either. I have no idea.
And if size matters to you, make sure you get what you want. Become Rainbow Bright. Become a unicorn hunter. A unicorn is a huge penis.
Call me the unicorn hunter then.
Okay, there you go. See what I'm saying? You should come up with an outfit and you should fucking put it on the story. What would you need? What would be the tools of a unicorn? Not scissors. Not scissors. No, I'm like, what would you need to become a unicorn? So what would be the tools? And you come out with fucking scissors. What would be the tools? Would it be measuring tape? Would it be, look at this sun. The sun is coming in and it's like
beautiful. Oh shit, I gotta take this call.
It's so nice out. All right. Bye, y'all.
Gracias for listening to Cositas Mommy Never Told Me. We hope you loved this episode. Make sure you subscribe, follow, and share Cositas Mommy Never Told Me on all your social channels. Todas las redes sociales. And don't forget, if you want in on the real tea and see all of our reactions to the craziness, watch this episode on YouTube. ¡Qué bochinche!